So I'm just giving a brief again once on Power Query. Okay, so Power Query is nothing but an ETL tool within Power BI, which is like extracted as ETL, named as an ETL. Extraction, transformation, and loading, extracting the data, and then transforming the data, and then loading the data. Okay, and then coming to here, earlier it was done by a lot of other tools, but Power BI made it itself inside the Power BI. So no other extra staff or no other extra technician needed to do this part. That is the reason why Power BI is okay, a good in the good higher peak stage right now in the uh, data visualization and then BA concept. So here what we do exactly is like, okay, we'll extract the data and then afterward transforming the data. Transforming means, okay, uh, cleaning and shaping the data. Like we do have some unnecessary data, dirty data available in our, maybe we may have that kind of data. Whenever we exist, whenever we see that kind of data in our tables, then obviously we'll clean the data, and after that, okay, we will have some data, but we need to have some other data like which can be extracted from the existing columns and tables. Then obviously we'll do some transformations of that particular data, and then we'll get our required data from the existing data. So this is what we can do. Let's go into deep dive into like this. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You can ask me.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah, can I
get... Okay, continue.
Okay, yeah, okay. So shaping and cleaning is the process in particular Power Query, which is done in Power Query, one of the part of Power BI. It's not some other tool that we are discussing. It's there in Power BI itself. So regularly what we do is like, okay, we'll get the tables from get data. From get data, we'll get the tables here like this, and then we'll select this. And then every time we'll get load. If you get load, then obviously it will go directly into Power BI. But right now what we'll do is like we'll go in and click for the transform data. So if we click the transform data, it will go into the Power Query where we do all the ETL operation. I'll just show. And then again, I'll show you how we can go directly also. We can come click transform data. If we already done got the data into Power BI, then obviously we can go to Power Query from here also. But right now I've been done directly to my Power Query editor. So this is my Power Query editor. Just let me load the data. So I got my data over here. So you can see this is the Power Query editor, which is called as Power Query editor. So here a lot of mouse operations are available. It's completely based on mouse operations. At the same time, we do have some other thing that I'll let you know. This is query part where all our tables will exist, and this is like applied steps part where the steps, whatever the actions, whatever the mouse operation that we do, for every mouse operation we'll have an extra step over here, like the steps. You can see what all those things matter. And then this is property things, query settings, and then property things means here you can change the particular table name from here. So you can see the table. You can even change the table name from here. Okay, even you can double click on this particular table and then you can do that. But we will have two options to do that. And we do have a lot of options to transform and then clean the data over here. So we will go one by one, not maybe in one sequence, but in an order which will gives you more clean and easiest way to land the Power Query. Okay, so I don't go in a line, but I'll cover each and every option in this Power Query. Okay, so whichever you needed, every option will be explained over here in this coming sessions. So what we'll do in this, okay, so exactly as I told, we will make cleaning and shaping of the data. Cleaning and shaping of the data will be done over here. And then like here in this particular session, what we'll do is like, okay, we'll clean the rows. Okay, so this is completely like keep rows and remove rows concept. We will discuss about according these two topics over here in this session. Okay, which are completely based upon rows. Okay, so whenever we want to do something based upon the rows, okay, so we will go through these two mouse operations. Okay, So that's it. You can understand right now by seeing this. Okay, so you have some dirty data, which is unnecessary data, whatever it called is dirty data, unnecessary data, like as uh, need to be cleaned data, whatever. So we can call it as whatever we want. So at the same time, we do have some other unnecessary data over here. So we'll do that particular cleaning process over here from this session. Okay, and then coming to here, what is that? Okay, yeah. So first of all, I do have 3 rows which I don't need to like the display over here in my data, and then I do have some other data which is at the last. Okay, I want to do the data. First of all, what we'll do, we'll go for okay this thing. So here you can see like I do have some unnecessary data in the top only. Top 3 rows are unnecessary data. What we can do? So we do have remove rows, and then if you click in the small arrow mark, you'll have a lot of options in that. You can see remove top rows, remove bottom rows, remove alternate rows, remove duplicates, remove blank rows, and remove errors. Okay, so that's it. Okay, for this options, and then like we'll go into one by one, and then we'll learn all these options. Okay, so first of all, what we do is like okay, we do have 3 unnecessary data, 3 rows unnecessary or dirty data. We want to clean them. So I'll go. Where are these? These are at the top of my necessary data. These are from 4th through 30th. I do have. I just need this data, but from the 1 to 3rd row, I just need to delete that data. So obviously, we'll go and click for remove top rows. Power Query mouse operations are very easy. At the same time, I'll let you know like how to you can improve your other skills also through this Power Query. Just concentrate at this time how we'll do these things. So number of rows, how many rows that you want to remove. Obviously, it will tell specify how many rows to remove from the top you want to remove. So obviously, I want to remove 3 rows. Okay. So you can see one new step has been formed. Earlier it was like okay, I'll just delete this remove. If you want to remove the step, you can just click this cross mark, and this will be removed. And these are already applied steps when we get this data into the Power Query. Obviously, Power Query will take okay some steps. I'll let you know regarding this just a bit later. Just first right now, okay, just imagine that we are here at the change type step, and then I want to like remove the top rows once again, top rows, then 3 rows, okay, and then I'll click OK, and then those rows will be removed, the top rows. Then after okay, we find that okay, these column headings are not my real column headings, and then I want to make these columns the first column, which is the first row, as a header. So I feel like this is my okay, so header of this column. We can understand right by seeing this. Okay, the upper things are like okay, somehow it came when okay the earlier data is available, but right now my data is changed, and according to my I feel like this is my first row as my header. So obviously to make it, we do have option. So we do have like here first row is header. We'll click that. So my first row will become the header of my columns. Obviously, that's it. Then every time we do an operation, obviously we'll get a new step. Whenever we do promote headers, obviously the data type automatically detects by itself, and then like it will gives the change in data type also step also. So these are not anything like whenever you do some mouse operation, the step will be yep. Okay, and then uh, that's regarding the top row, and then we'll see how we can remove the bottom row. You can see here I do have like some dirty data in the bottom. Then okay, that's how we can do that, and then like okay, so and then I'll remove this bottom rows. Okay, so just come over here and then remove bottom rows. Then how many rows that you want to remove? The number of rows from the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the bottom, 5 rows. So obviously, bottom rows has been removed. And then if you want to change this one, okay, you can click in the gear mark, and then again you can just do whatever you want. They want to remove only 4 rows. Only 4 rows will be removed, and 1 row will be remain. Again, I want to change something over here. Just click on the gear mark. Here you can you see this gear mark over here?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Okay, and then number of rows to remove. I want to remove 5 rows, and then again. Okay, so 5th row will be removed. So this is how we will do in remove rows. Okay, and then we do have some alternate rows. This is very important. Just to have a look. Before going into this, I want to just do some actions over here. Like I want to do remove this top 4 rows. So as we learned earlier, okay, I'll just come over here and then remove top rows. Very easy. Power query is very easy. But we need to understand like what are the things that we can do. We need to remember, and then when needed, obviously we need to keep our brain. No one tells us what to do with the data. Okay, so someone, your project manager or else or might be your client never says to do these things in Power Query. They'll tell that is there is some unnecessary data is there. You need to do some detail operation. Even once they give the data, once you get them into your Power BI desktop, while you first thing you need to do is obviously I tell every time you need to go through your data, and after that, okay, you need to like if you find anything that is unnecessary or need to be clean, then you come again into Power Query and you need to do your like Power Query operations such that you'll get clean and neat transformed as per requirement data. Okay, that's it. uh, I'll remove these 3 rows, but again remove just have 4 rows need to be removed, so I'll just come again and then remove 4 rows. You can see right now, okay, this is I feel like these are my headers. I want to make that as a header, so just click that. First row is a header. Okay, I got this period country elements and then like. So what to do right now? Right now you can see this. Okay, so I do have an alternate. Okay, unnecessary data here. You can see one row is needed, one row is not needed. So in that case, what we can do is like, okay, we'll click on this. Okay, on this any column, and then remember that you need to click on any column. It's not like okay, you do something, any of the column you need to click, and then go for remove alternate rows. Then it will ask okay, a couple of things that you need to do. The first row that you want to remove. So here, the first row that I want to remove is second row. Second row that I want to remove, and then a number of rows to remove from starting second row. How many rows that you want to remove? I need to remove only 1 row from second row. Okay, so I gave 1 row. Then after removing that row, how many rows that you want to keep? It's 1 row. Here I just have only 1 row to keep. And again, this will continues. Okay, after first second row, when it comes to second row, it deletes 1 row and keeps 1 row, and then again deletes 1 row and keeps 1 row. In that way, it will go. Let us check it. Let us check that how it will comes the output. Check with this data present, and then like whenever we USA will get the data, and then whenever null we don't get the data. Like for the entire row, then you can see every alternate row has been removed. Okay, so this is one case, and then we have some other scenario like okay, I just want to remove this. Okay, so that will have this thing. We'll have other scenario like okay, I don't have unnecessary rows in okay in a sequential manner. If we have a sequential manner, then obviously we can do either whatever. From the second row, if you have 3 rows are necessary, and then like two rows are 3 rows are not necessary, and then 2 rows are necessary. Again, 3 rows are not necessary, again 2 rows are necessary. Then obviously you can do that. That's not been easy, it's not been difficult part. But when it is comes to like like okay unsymmetric like data is there, then obviously what we need to do is we need to do this operation multiple times. That's it. Okay, so I feel like okay, I do have like from the second I need to remove 3 rows, and after I need to I need to keep 2 rows, and again after that I need to have remove 5 rows. There is no sequence over here. So obviously what we'll do, we'll remove first these 2 rows and then keep all other rows. Then afterwards we'll come to like 6th row, which we need to remove, and then from there how many data we want to remove, that data we'll remove. Like that, we need to do multiple times to do when it is unsequential okay process of cleaning data. So I'll like hope you understand what I'm trying to tell, right? Sharon?
Oh, yes, I got it.
Okay, so that's it. So whenever it is sequential format, 1 row need to be keep and one row need to be delete, 1 row need to be delete, and 1 row need to be keep in that way. We obviously we can do easier. Even if you like okay, 2 rows need to be deleted and 3 rows need to be keep. 2 rows need to be deleted and 3 rows need to keep. There is a sequence. If it is a sequence, that is easier, we can make it in one go. But whenever it is like okay non-sequence, then obviously we need to understand the situation, and then we need to go for
How do you perform it for large data?
yeah, this is the only operation that we do have to clean the data. If it is even large data also, if it is in that even large data, it comes in once
If
or
it's in
twice.
sequence, is okay.
When it is in very large data, don't expect okay the data which we come in like for every 5 rows or 10 rows there will be error data. In that manner, obviously we'll tell them that is completely a dump of data. It is waste of time to do that. It is not like that. In some cases, maybe like okay 5 to 6 times in that particular large data, maybe that kind of things may happen, and then we'll go and remove those rows. That's it. Okay. Okay, and then that is what we do. Generally, like it won't comes like okay in 1 lakh data there will be like okay for every 100 data we need to do the operation at least 10 times. Means okay, obviously we need to do the remove rows operation at least 1,000 times. Doesn't happen, then we obviously tell that there is a lot of scrap in the data, then we can't do that. Obviously even that kind of data they won't get back to us. Okay. Okay, so it is the case where we have like okay very rare case of times only we'll have this kind of unnecessary data rows in this particular table. That's it. So just come out here and then remove alternate rows. Let us suppose that from the second row I have like 2 rows need to be removed. I want to make like 3 rows removed, and after that I do have again at the 11th row from the second I have to remove like okay 3 rows, and after that I do have to keep only 2 rows and then afterwards I need to have I need to remove 5 rows. Then obviously we don't go to anything, like we don't ask it to uh, do these things several times. We want to stop the sequence. If we want to stop the sequence, means what we'll do, like okay we'll give the total entire rows, so that it will to remove these 3 rows, and then afterwards it will keep all the rows. We don't know how many rows remain. Rather than giving counting this thing, we'll give total rows. Obviously total rows are 50, so it will jump, keep all the other rows, and then it will go outside the thing. Okay, so here what it will do, can you please explain? From the second row it will remove 3 rows, and after that okay it won't do anything, and then it will get out of this particular table. This is what we have been given. Okay, just observe this. From the second row
First, it will start from remove second row.
no, it will start from second row and then remove
Start
3
from
rows. Then afterwards it will keep all 15 rows. Here after second row we do have at least okay maybe we'll have like
okay,
10,
okay.
10 rows. But what we given is 50 to keep. We don't want to count these things. How many is there? We don't want to count. So obviously we will give the entire row count. So it will jump out of this thing and then it will come out. So that is what we say. So you can see P1 and the in process has been deleted, and then we got all these rows.
Okay, okay.
Then again, if you find like I do have like okay from P4 I do have like 5 rows need to be deleted. So we can't do it in the sequence. So again, we'll come out here and then do same thing, alternate rows from okay 5th row right now. Like P4 means 6th row, and then 6th row I just want to remove okay 4 rows, then keep all other things. Like again 15 or 12 or whatever it might be. So this is how it happens. So when there is okay this unsymmetrical data, then we will obviously go and do this kind of operations. That's it. Okay, so these are okay important things in the remove rows, these 3 things, and after that if you have like duplicates, I don't have that kind of data. Duplicates, this is not that data, and then this is don't have duplicates. Let us suppose that okay I do have duplicates. This is the duplicate, right?
Yes.
Okay, 26 has been came a lot of times, okay, but I don't want to I want to remove all the duplicates. Let us suppose that okay it's not like case in the particular date okay a lot of sales has been done, that is the case. But here as an example we'll take that I don't want to have these duplicates. I want to show only one unique values. Means how many times it is repeated, it don't shows all the times, it will shows only one time, then one value will be remained. Okay, so we'll check it out, and then so we'll get only one row which is on the top. So maybe in that cases, if you find that kind of cases like okay, one complete entry came in several times, then if you want to remove that, will do that. That's it.
Distinct.
That's it. Very good. And then like it's a blank rows. If there are blank rows, we can remove. If there are errors, obviously we'll do that. We don't have that kind of data. That's it. Simple. If you have blank rows, with remove blank rows, then blank rows will be removed. And if you have like errors, then obviously like error rows will be removed. There will be like a error kind of symbol will be represented over here, and then we'll remove that error. Okay. That's it regarding remove rows, and then sorry for that. Okay. Bit cold. Yep, and then yeah, keep rows. You go for keep rows. Let us suppose that I do have a lot of dirty data, and the top and the bottom. Okay, if I do like remove mouse operations, the operations will be increased over here. I just need 2 types. So what I'll do is I'll go for keep rows. Keep rows means if you want to like keep top rows, you can keep. If you want to like keep bottom rows, if you want to like if you feel like there is a lot of unnecessary data, then only the bottom data is if you want to keep, then you can go for bottom rows. And then if you want to keep for okay range of rows, obviously we'll go for this. Okay, these 2 things we can do okay simply, and then like we'll go for keep of range of rows. So from which rows we want to start and then keep for the first row. The 4th row is my first row, so I want to start with 4th row. The number of rows that you want to like okay keep. So 13 minus 4 is obviously 9 rows. I want to keep 9 rows. Number of rows. It's not this number. Like count of rows. Number of rows is count of rows. Okay, how many rows that you want to keep? It's not like you can't give 13. If you give 13 means after 4th, it will count 13, then 13 rows it will keep. Okay, just keep in mind. So you got all the necessary data. So this is what. Then if you find like okay, if you want to keep okay the top rows, then obviously keep top rows means okay. We'll have like let us suppose that this 8th and 9th are unnecessary data for me. Let us suppose that this is 8th and 9th are unnecessary data. So what we'll do, we'll go for keep the top rows, and then we'll just give from 1 to 7, 1 and 7 rows. Then obviously keep top rows. So how many rows you want to keep? I want to keep 7 rows, obviously, and then the 8th and 9th row will be removed. What is my 8th and 9th row? Italy and Korea. That's obviously. So Italy and Korea will be removed. So this is one way, and then like I don't want to do this thing right now, and then let us suppose I just need only from USA. I don't need all other data. Maybe in that case, I just need okay from 5th like 6 rows from the bottom. So obviously, I'll go for keep bottom rows. How many rows to keep? From the bottom, I just want to need 6 rows so that I'll get okay France, China, whatever is finding. Okay, I want to make it like 5 rows. That's it. From USA, I just need to get from USA. So this is what we do. And then, okay, one thing that you need to observe okay, every time, okay, there is an M-long ways involved. Okay, M-long ways, that is like mashup long ways, we'll call it as M-long ways involved in this particular concept in this Power Query. Okay, every time we do a mouse operation, a step has been formed. At the same time, every time we do a mouse operation, the M code has been written out. M-long ways code every time. Okay, it will shows a function, and this is the previous step. You can see the key rows. Okay, so this is the previous step. So for that previous step, okay, it will do okay some action. So earlier it was like in this step, the data was this here like this. So when we write this step, okay, when we do this step, obviously it will write the M code by itself. The M code will be written over here by itself. Okay, so this is the function that it will write. Okay, table lost n rows. So from the earlier step, okay, this is the earlier step that it was. Okay, you can see hash mark and then like in quotations keep range of rows. The earlier step. From the earlier step, okay, it want to show only the last n rows. How many rows? 5 rows. So this is what okay every step when you do okay, even here also you can see okay keep range okay what we'll do the same kind of name will be approximately will be there will have been done like a keep range of rows. So it was like okay table dot range. Then from the earlier step of this step, changed type. This was the earlier step for this step. So it took the step and then like from the 3rd row, we want to keep 9 rows. So that is the thing that is being taken, and then it was written that step. automatically the step will be written by Power Query. So what my advice is, every time you do a mouse operation, every time while you learn a mouse operation, I always ask you to take the screenshot of this particular, okay, screen, okay, from here to here. You know, like a slipping tool, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, just come out here and then like, okay, new, then you can take this like this. Okay, so including the tables, even though if you take the tables or not, okay, that is, if you want to take the table part, okay, you want to take the table part, you can take or not, but this is mandatory. These steps are mandatory. Okay, and then this is mandatory, need to keep. And okay, whenever you move some, do some actions, okay, this part is need to be, you need to understand, you need to check what is happening over there, and then how it was written, and then that gives you like, okay, in further things, okay, whenever you go into like, okay, custom columns, I'm language kind of things, okay, then it will be easier. You won't be like, okay, learning individually, separately, these kind of things, okay. So just while you go, every time, this is the easiest part where you can learn this, okay. It's not like, okay, you need to by heart or something else, just observe what, okay, kind of functions that is writing, so that while you
Okay,
write, yeah,
these predefined steps is okay. The last case, one of the class, it's usually color.
every time you go and then
So
do some
those
operations.
codes, there's you didn't tell this language separately.
No. M language is not the part, like, okay, even I didn't, okay, like, okay, learn separately from, okay, something else, okay. Thing is like, we will learn through the go, and then laugh at the end of this, okay, Power Query, we'll learn how to write the custom columns using M also. It's not like,
No,
okay,
you changed that color now, right? In one of the classes, one measure you wrote to change the color
yeah,
accordingly.
okay, that is not
So,
that is DAX, that will go through like completely. You don't, that is DAX language, DAX, okay, function coding, that will learn from the beginning
okay,
to end. That is different,
okay.
and this is different, okay. This is like only
Okay.
up to Power Query, okay.
This
This
is
is mashup.
predefined.
Yeah, this is that DAX also like, okay, predefined, but it is like, okay, whenever you do some mouse operations, obviously it will understand the mouse operation, it will write the code itself.
Okay.
So I'll simply give some tricks also, how to like, okay, even if you don't know the tricks, the code also, how to do that things, I'll let you know by the end of the, okay, session. I'll give you good tips. Even if you don't know how to like, okay, if you don't know the M language code, what you need to write there. If you want to get the code, obviously I'll tell you some tips and tricks. So how to get that thing, and then how to implement that logics. No need to worry about it. But it is necessary that every time you do some operation, you observe those things. Okay, observe those things, and then like, you take the screenshot of every step, and then keep it in a Word document. So right now you've been done, okay, keep rows and remove rows today. So just keep a heading of keep rows and remove rows, and then like, you first keep remove rows, and then do all the operations. While you do every operation, take a screenshot, and then just paste it in that document, Word document. So again, every one step, okay, just take a screenshot, and then keep it like, but that will be very useful for your, okay, even interview purpose. Interview purpose, they won't ask you like, okay, what is the code that you'll get over here. These kind of things they don't never ask you. But in real time, when it is needed, then obviously you can have a look into your what operations can I do, the ETL operations at that time. Okay, you don't need to go all these videos. One document from top to bottom on the ETL. Okay, you'll have a document, and then you can refer that, and then you can have that. That is like $1 million book for you in Power Query. No other book can help you more than that, because you are going to do each and every option in Power Query, and you are having each and every screenshot of that Power Query. That means that is more than enough for you. No book can help you more than that. Okay, hope you're understanding what I'm trying to tell. Okay, even if you
Yes,
go
yes.
into your real time, if you find how, what I can do, what is the operation that I can do over here, and then once you go to your, okay, entire Power BI document, like Power Query document, then obviously, so every time you do like, okay, you start a topic, just start from a fresh page, not a fresh document. Like in that same document, okay, from the fresh page you go. And why? Because if you do like, okay, a lot of documents, and then means, okay, you can't understand what need to be done. Okay, so only one document every day, you open the document and then just start pasting from the new page, or else not necessary. Keep a side heading of that particular topic, just like remove rows, and then afterwards just keep on practicing, and then keep on taking uh, whatever things that you want. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, some people do in this two manner, like, okay, there was some people do like, okay, the earlier step, then afterwards, okay, they'll take the snapshot of the present step after the operation, so that they can understand how it was changed. But it's up to you, like, if you want to like not necessarily that thing, you can do that thing. Simple things. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is what, okay, like today's session. Okay, I do have a meeting over at 11:30. Okay, so I'll wind up over here. So just these two things, I'll just send these columns, and then you need to practice this rows kind of thing, and then like tomorrow we'll go with some other mouse operations, and then we'll do. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine, and then thank you for today. Bye. Hello.